Chicharito is somebody that is a fantastic striker, has so much ability, does so much with what his God-given talents are, but he's somebody that I believe is the most underrated player around right now in today's game. As much as he can do through the air, he can do, his agility, his speed, his quickness, pace, as some people would describe it. He has enough of everything that it all comes together in a very good package. He's had success internationally, of course. I think every year he's Mexico's best player. He's been overseas, but he hasn't really cracked into that elite level. He's not a Zlatan Ibrahimovic or a Messi or a Ronaldo. He's not on that level, but at the same time, he's somebody that, put in the right situation, I just don't see how he doesn't get more respect. I think a lot of people look at him as, he had all this potential and he does well, but he's not an elite player. If I was building a team, he's the kind of player that I would love to have, because he's going to get you goals. And at the end of the day, it's a results business. He gets results. I think that if he was put in the right situation to be a number 2 striker or part of a rotation, with him as the number 2 striker, or if you had a situation where there was 2 strikers deployed, I think that would be another great one. So I just don't think that he gets the full value and full recognition that he deserves. And I think he's just a wonderful player. Player his size, he's not very tall or very big, but like the header he had yesterday against Portugal in the Confederations Cup was fantastic. Every single time he steps out onto a soccer pitch, it's results. And sometimes it looks really pretty, and other times he gets kind of lucky. He's been described as a poacher, but he gets goals. He gets results. And I think that if more clubs realize that and valued what he offers, I just think that he's being underutilized for himself and for the other clubs. I think they underestimate him. And I think, like I said, as part of a rotation or in a 2-striker system, I think that, he would just be a wonderful, wonderful addition. I'd love to see, like with Juventus, the way that they had Mandzukic, Dybala, and Higuain. If he was put in a system like that where, he could be out, maybe in front and have 2 other guys that were able to, work off the flanks, something like that. I just think that put in the right system, there's so much potential with him, and I wish that things were a little different for him. I really do. I enjoy watching him. He's a lot of fun to watch. He always seems like a good guy. I've never seen him do anything rash or stupid. I think he plays the game the right way. I think he seems to be a pretty good role model for kids. It's just a player that I really like, and if I was building a team, he's somebody that I would definitely want. But, the reality is, I suppose, that he's just not an elite player. He's kind of an in-between, where he is really good, he gets really good results, but maybe he's viewed as somebody that's an overachiever, but that his natural talents aren't, he's not the tallest, he's not the fastest, he's not the most accurate, he's not the most of anything, but he has enough of those qualities that as the sum of the parts, the whole product is very good. And I think a lot of clubs want that elite level striker. They want a Lewandowski or, someone of that ilk, and he's not quite at that level. But he's very, very good. And to be honest, for Bayer Leverkusen to have him, I think that they're very lucky. I think that, they really, really lucked out for them to be able to have him. And he's done very well. He's more of a upper tier club, but not an elite tier club main guy. And if he ever gets in another situation, like I said, like a Juventus kind of deal, put into a rotation or put into a system where he would be allowed to work in the box and do the things that he does with other people who can hit from distance or work the wings. I just think that it would be incredible for him and for whatever club that might be with. But all that said, I think he's definitely one of the most exciting players, I think, in the world when it comes to getting the ball in the box, because a lot of times he's going to get his goal. And I think that for all the hype and everything early on in his career, I think he's done quite well. And at one point he didn't want to play anymore, and he fought through all that, and he's handled everything pretty well. And I hope to see more positive things for him in the future. I think I really hope that things go well for him down the line, that he has a really good rest of his career, because I think he's a fantastic player that just does not get his full credit. Thanks for listening to the Center Spot Soccer Podcast. I'm Ross Schweitzer, and don't forget to go to centerspotsoccer.com for the best soccer merchandise available in the United States. Also, don't forget to check us out on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, which possibly you might be listening to us right now, and also on Medium. Just look up Ross Schweitzer, and my articles will pop up there. And thanks for listening, and have a good day.